Hey, welcome to Season 2, Episode 26 of our monologue series. This one is The Architecture of Change. Imagine a woman sitting across from me, and we're having a conversation. And she says something, maybe 11, 12 words. And maybe she said this same sentence for 20 or 30 years. It might sound like this. I'm just not the kind of person who can do, and you fill in the blanks. Now, she believes it the way she believes the chair is supporting her. She's not lying. She's not weak. She's doing the one thing her nervous system was built to do. Stay inside the lines it drew for her a long, long time ago. Now, I've sat with more than 500 trauma clients. I've trained hundreds of clinicians. And I've heard stories of clients who gain insight, aha moments. They're so grateful. Oh my God, that's why I do this. They cry, they thank the clinician, and then they go home, and the next day they repeat the same negative pattern. They have insight, but no change. And I used to think that these clinicians were missing a technique. So I read more, I trained more, I explained harder, I even explored harder. And then I realized something. I realized that talking about it wasn't helping. Working with the cognitive brain wasn't the right place to do the work. Now, when I hear these stories, I feel bad for the clients. My clients come to me because they've been through 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different kinds of therapy. Normally talk therapy, where they tell their story over and over again, and they feel better. And sometimes they get some minimal change, but they never heal the underlying issue. So let me say the thing most of the change work industry will not. Change is not about mindset. It's not about motivation, and it's not having a better story told louder. Change is about changing something inside the brain, the architecture. And your nervous system will only let you become someone new with new beliefs, new boundaries under very specific conditions. Until those conditions are met, you can understand your problem perfectly and stay stuck in it for the rest of your life. Understanding your cage is not the same as being on the outside of the cage. So here's the architecture underneath all of change. Your identity is built out of your beliefs. You behave like the person you believe you are. Now that's hard to take for some people. And here's the part nobody tells you. Every belief you believe in, every belief you carry, you decided to believe that belief. You decided it in a real moment, usually when you were young and usually under duress or a load, and usually when something hurt enough to make the decision stick. No baby is born believing it's not good enough. They decide that under duress. And once they decide it, they draw a line, a boundary, and they have lived inside that line ever since. Now here's the trap. Every single time you behave inside that boundary, you fire the same circuit in your brain. And there's a law for that. It's called Hebb's law. And Hebb's law was created in 1949 by a Canadian researcher, Donald Hebb. And he said, what fires together, wires together. So every ordinary day, you are not just living your story, you're wiring it in harder. 30 years of proof that you're right about yourself. And you do it one event, one day at a time. And that's why willpower loses out. Willpower, your willpower, asks the strongest wiring, your problem behaviors, in your brain to lose in a fair fight to a New Year's resolution. Guess what? It's not going to happen. So what do you actually do? You don't argue with the belief. You don't simply reframe it. You need to go underneath it. There is a memory holding the whole thing in place. The moment you made the decision, and that memory is not really a story. It is a structure. It has a feeling and it has a charge. The fear, the shame, the surge that got encoded back when it happened. Clearing that latent charge is what I call affective memory resolution, or AMR. Now, this isn't new age. It's how the brain actually works. And Karim Nader proved it at McGill University in 2000, that when you bring up a memory, it becomes malleable or soft, editable. We actually call it becoming labial. And for a short window, from minutes up to 6 hours, you can work with inside that window. And you could take the emotional charge out of a memory that's been living inside you. And you do that without drugs, and it does not come back. So we bring the memory up, and then with a technique called visual-spatial tasking, we take care of the latent emotional charge. Not the story remains. We change the charge. Now the body comes out of that threat. The circuit from the trigger to the emotional state stops firing. And for the first time, there's room to wire in something new. And that's the difference between a client who finally understands their cage and a client who knows how to get out of the cage and stay out of the cage. So if you're carrying a charge of your own, please, please, please hear me. That's not a character flaw. It's an injury. It's an injury that can heal. And if you coach or train or work with people and you're tired of watching insight that never connects, never heals, then this layer may be just the thing you want to learn. Now, it's what I teach, and it's what our certification is built on. Either way, do one thing, please. You can follow this series and learn more, because the next time someone tells you you're just not the kind of person who can do fill in the blanks, you'll know exactly what that sentence is, and you'll know exactly how to take it apart. I'll see you in the next episode.